All right, hello everyone, welcome or welcome back. We're switching this up today. I'm using this deck here. Haven't used this deck in a while. I usually pull this deck out around Halloween, but this deck obviously is one of my favoriteest tarot decks. This is the Everyday Witch Tarot. I can't remember who created this deck, but I absolutely love this deck and I haven't used it in a while. So I told Spirit, I said, I'm going to use this deck whether you want me to or not. And here we are. So we're going to be using this deck. We're going to see where this leads us. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kata and I just do general readings, and honestly, you sit, and if you feel called to it, great, and if not, no hard feelings. There's always another one, or perhaps not. Maybe I'm just not your reader, and that's okay. There are plenty of amazing readers online as well. So let's get into this. I actually was going to stop, and now I'm trying to I am going to stop because I actually didn't do a prayer. I was super excited about this deck and I forgot to do my prayer. So I always start a reading with a prayer. So, okay. As I was doing this prayer, I was hearing a prayer of protection kind of over top of the prayer that I was doing. So it was like there was Spirit coming in and was doing a prayer of protection. This prayer was based off of Christianity, and it was a prayer that basically was saying, "And the angels of the Lord move around them, seen and unseen, protect them from forces that they may see or not see that are coming at them." Right? So some of you might have, in this collective, might have recently done some sort of protection prayer or ritual, or you've been doing the one quite frequently or semi-frequently. Some of you might also identify with Christian witchery. Okay, it's not a practice that I'm overly familiar with, but some of you might identify with that as well, or some sort of Christian paganism or Celtic paganism, Celtic Christianity. Show me the Celtic cross. Did I have a card that turned over? No. Okay. Okay. So we have the Three of Swords reversed. We have the Seven of Cups upright. We've got the Ace of Swords reversed. And we've got the Three of Swords reversed. Interesting. This collective, you're a little overwhelmed at the moment. You're a little overwhelmed with your options. You're a little overwhelmed with what it is that you've been doing. You're a little overwhelmed with your mind. You've got the Ace of Swords reversed. I feel like this collective has had the opportunity to make changes on like a mental and emotional level, and you have adamantly decided not to. But then you're also like, well, why is nothing changing? Okay. And like I'm looking at this card here. So this is the Seven of Cups. And of course you've got like the plant, the stars, the castle, money, love, reading, swords, like the passion, right? That's as an option here in every single one of these cups. And what I find that is really standing out to me is this feeling when I go between the Ace of Swords and the Seven of Cups in particular. Then you've also got this Three of Swords reversed, right? Is this feeling of you were going to change how you were approaching a situation or a person, and you made the decision not to. Either you made the decision not to, but now you're realizing, or not to move further, or not to do something further, or not to go further. I'm just going to see if I can get some clarification, because this could actually go like a number of ways. I have the Devil card coming up. Oh. Hold on. I don't want to say what just came to me there unless I know. Let me just pull some. I just had something. Spirit doesn't like when I do this. Okay. Never mind. This, sorry, I just got, when the Devil came up, I got a very, very, very clear image here of what's going on. And I don't know why. Also, I don't know if you have been watching me, the way I've been like moving the cards, but like I'm not even that conscious of where I'm putting the cards. It's like Spirit's almost just like, oh, this is going to go here, and this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. Just want to make sure. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I had this full message before I Okay, there's something really clear that's coming through here, and I'm going to put a massive, massive trigger warning here for addiction. Okay, because there's a very clear, they keep showing me the same situation over and over again. Let me just, I know you guys have been sitting here just watching me. Pull cards. Okay. Okay. This reading hits a little bit home for me. So I've been spending 9 minutes faffing about, so let's just get into it. There's a very clear message for the group in this collective. It is a minority. This is not a large group, but somehow, some way, there's going to be a collective that finds this video. You have recently relapsed in some sort of substance abuse. Okay. This relapse has caused you to lose a relationship recently. When I say recently, this is within the past 3 months specifically. Okay. You made a snap decision. Okay. I want to explain 2 things that are happening here. We've got a section here that I've somehow with Spirit curated. The Hierophant, Death, Ace of Pentacles, Nine of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Pentacles reversed, which is actually a pretty great card to be reversed. That is kind of this, it's in between these 2 situations. And then we have this section that contains the Seven of Cups, which I immediately completely misinterpreted. and the Ace of Swords, and the Three of Swords, and the Devil, and the Two of Cups, and the Nine of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, with the Ace of Swords, Three of Swords, and the Two of Cups all being reversed. And immediately what I was shown was that this collective has been sober and has been in rehab for a while. This is not like you were doing good. Okay, people from the outside looking in would have said, oh, you're doing really good. Look at the progress you've made. You've been doing so good. I'm so proud of you. And then this energy, this Eight of Wands energy came in. And the minute this card came out, I kind of felt like there was just something combined. I was also looking at this Death card. I want to show you the image right here. Do you see how Death is holding the sword? And then there is this rope that's here. And I'm trying to get this to move in, sorry. Here, it is a very thin line. And what I'm seeing is that this line, it like snapped, okay? And all of a sudden, all of these healings and therapy sessions and group therapy and everything you were doing, it wasn't enough anymore. It wasn't working anymore. And it was like things got out of control mentally. And even though I feel like this collective attempted at some point to voice it, it wasn't taken seriously enough by the people that you were voicing it to. And as a result, this collective either knows someone or they themselves recently partook in old behaviors that you absolutely have the ability to walk away from permanently. And there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of grief, a lot of shame. I'm getting a lot of shame around this decision. But you're back in the place of this here now means something completely different, this Seven of Cups. Because this Seven of Cups now is all the wrong choices. You want to know what I'm seeing? And I don't even know if they do this anymore. I'm old school addict, okay? But I'm seeing like someone opens a bag basically and is like, what do you want? That's what I'm seeing when I pull this up right now. Oh, what do you want? You know, and someone's like opening a bag and like pulling baggies out of it and pulling different things. I don't want to give too much visuals because I also don't want to trigger this collective further into something. So I'm trying to be on a very fine line here. But it's like they open this bag and they're like, oh, well, we have this and this is on sale and you can get this and you can get this. And this collective is just like, oh my gosh, I want it all. You know, I want this. Or you're walking into a store where there's a lot of options and you're just like, I haven't had anything for so long that I want everything. And you know that this is not a good decision. You know that this is destructive. You know that this is breaking relationships. And you're just hoping it won't. Look at this collective. Here's what you need to understand. Hope's not lost. Okay. I really like this Five of Pentacles in this position. This is a good card to be in this position because with the Five of Pentacles reversed, when the Five of Pentacles is upright, this is in a state of lack and scarcity and not having enough. When this card's reversed, this is having enough to be able to give more, right? This is about moving your situation from a place of destitution to a place of bliss. moving towards this right now. This collective, whether it's someone directly, like whether it's you directly, someone that you know, this collective is struggling with figuring out how they're going to get back to this place, how they're going to get back to this energy of like wonderment and bliss and contentment, because you feel like now you've just thrown everything out the window. And here's what I want to say to that. Relapse is a natural course of addiction. Every single person, including myself, has relapsed at some point. And that's okay. I think this is also why I started this reading and I mentioned the prayer. And when I started this reading, there was the mention of someone is doing the prayer. Okay? And specifically, it was a Christian type prayer. It was not like a 12 steps type prayer. It was a grandmother energy type prayer of, and the angels of the Lord move around us and let no evil befall us, seen or unseen. Those were like kind of the words that I was hearing. And that might be why that prayer started, right? Because there is a level of awareness that's here of what you're doing and how it's bad and how it can go very, very bad very, very quickly. And knowing that you've just potentially really lost a relationship again. I don't know why again. Because I'm only seeing one relationship in the cards. But I feel like I need to say again. Like this has happened again. You know, maybe that's the energy, maybe that's the feeling here, is again. I want you to know that you can get back here. To this place of Zen, to this place of bliss. And even though you can't see the path right now, it is a path that is still open to you. It is a path that is still available to you. And it is a path that is still, it is never, ever 100% gone. I really want to emphasize that. It is never 100% gone. 9 of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck again. Look at that. If you needed a sign or a confirmation that you can get back to this place, that you can get back to this place of progress, that you can get back to this place of hope and happiness and joy, this was that sign. Okay. Hangman. Don't get stuck in the habit of doing the same thing the same way you did it last time. Obviously, the way you did something last time didn't 100% work. The way you approached your health and well-being the last time didn't 100% work. What about the 3 of Cups? I like this card coming up in this context because in this case, I'm really getting this feeling of reaching out to other people for support. Reaching out to other people for support. And the thing that's also standing out to me is in this Hierophant card, there's also 3 people. So it's like there's a group and one of you in this group is like a stray, or you're going to meet 3 other people. There's going to be like this group of 3 of you either way. Okay, that you're going to go through this together and you're going to feel like you found your group of people. You found your tribe. You found the people that all are there for you and are doing things and are in a good state. We've got the 9 of Swords again. A lot of shame, a lot of anxiety, a lot of guilt. Some of you might already know who this group of people are that I was referencing with these cards. And some of you might have guilt that you feel like you didn't uphold your end of the bargain with them. And I want you to know that they're going to be way more understanding than you're giving them credit for. They're going to be way more understanding than what you're giving them, than how hard you're being on yourself for. Okay? That's what I want to say there. And final messages for this super heavy reading that I was absolutely not expecting for this collective. Strength. Is that not the most fitting message? And nothing else. Strength. Is that not the most fitting message to come out in this reading? Strength is not harsh, it is gentle. It is gentle on you, it is gentle on your psyche, it is gentle on your emotions. Strength is not always something that needs to be really harsh. We have a tendency to be really, really harsh on ourselves, especially when it's bigger mistakes. Especially when it's bigger mistakes, we tend to have this tendency to be really, really harsh. And by the way, I want to say, I know I've been focusing on this reading from the perspective of the person who relapsed into whatever that situation is. But I want to say that if you're the person who is the supporting person, that the same level of harshness that you have, I assure you they have on themselves 3 times more. And sometimes the biggest thing you can do is provide the gentlest form of strength. There's no force here, right? It's coming from a space of love. And maybe looking at, if you're the supporting person, how did you previously support? What could you have done more of? And what maybe should you have done less of? Right? Because no matter what, there's always more we can do and there's always less we can do in certain aspects, right? There's more we can do when it comes to certain things and there's less we can do when it comes to certain things. There's less we can do when it comes to certain things. So what is it that you wanted to do, wanted more of? What is it that you could do less of? Where could you provide more softness? Softness, that's the word I wanted for this card, a soft type of strength. There's hope. All is not lost. That sounds very Lord of the Rings-ish. But all is not lost. That's how I got that. You can get back. You can get back on your feet. You've already done it. Many of you, you've done it many times already. I also want to say, my DMs are always open. For something like this, my DMs are always open. If you ever need to just let go to someone who doesn't know you from Adam, who's got no judgment for you, for your situation, nothing emotional involved, the DMs are always open. I don't even know actually if YouTube's got DMs, but I want to say they do. Either way, there's an email down below that is always open. Something to think about. Take it or leave it. It's entirely up to you. I'm not offended either way. I'm not offended either way. Keep looking at cards. That's my sign to stop looking at cards because the message is definitely done. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to go clean that up. Till next time. Bye, everyone.